Hello, hello, hello. How you guys doing tonight? Just to let everybody know, Grandpa is doing good. He's had surgery. He fractured his hip. I'm sure you guys know that if you've been here. Just make sure I update you guys on that. He'll be going to rehab for a couple weeks and probably coming home and finishing rehab here. So hopefully everything goes well. Hi, Nana. Hi, Debbie Rogers. Hi, Debbie Martin. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Rodney. Hi, Rodney Rains. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Richard. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Alex. Hi, Karen. Hi, Susie. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Lee. How you doing tonight? Thank you, Tia, for that donation of $30. We definitely appreciate that. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Minnie. I think I got everybody. Nope, Debbie. How you doing, Debbie? How you doing, Melinda? Oh boy, a lot going on though. A lot going on. Americans' freedoms and rights are under attack, and that's without question. Of course, President Biden plans to deliver a primetime speech this week on how Americans' rights and freedoms are still under attack, returning to his core message of the 2020 campaign, which makes no sense to me, because literally they are still under attack. They're under attack by the Democratic Party. It's not like it's a battle of wits with the Republicans somehow controlling the Senate or the House. No, they're not. The Republicans or the Democrats control everything. But the central argument still is that American rights and freedoms are under attack. But they are, just by his own party. He may not understand that because he's not mentally inclined enough to, but the rest of America does. And the president plans on laying out how America stands in the world and its democracy is at stake. Biden will highlight what he sees as progress over the past 2 years. We'll try to find out what that is. But he's trying to make it clear who is fighting for our rights and fighting for freedoms and fighting for our democracy. I wonder if he'll make it clear enough that it is not his own party. I don't think he understands what is actually happening. You know, he talks about his speech drawing on Abraham Lincoln and the Gettysburg Address and Franklin Roosevelt at Warm Springs in Georgia in the closing weeks of his 2020 campaign, but literally, he's been nothing but showing division within the country and dividing the country even more. This is a threat on the Constitution itself. Democrats are fighting for themselves to get more power and more control. Our government is trying to get bigger, not smaller. Our government was never made to control the people. It was made there to control or to govern a country. The people itself were there to make control. It's just sad. Joe Biden is still attacking Republicans, saying mega Republicans just threaten our personal rights and economic security. They threaten our very democracy. Basically saying this is political violence or political threats that he's making. Biden's not accepting the will of the people. He's not embracing the will of the people. Instead, the Democrats embrace political violence all throughout the violent protests. The only time they called it violent was when somebody stormed the Capitol. And very little violence was done that day. But mainstream Republicans and independents are being attacked by Democrats every day. Even Facebook was told to censor the laptop information by the FBI and the DOJ itself. Zuckerberg has now come forward and admitted this. And what are we doing? I mean, when Mark Zuckerberg came forward and admitted that the federal government interfered within the 2020 election by pulling the shit show of hiding information like the laptop information from Hunter Biden and pushing it down in the search, pushing it down in the algorithms on purpose. I mean, this is ridiculous. The government should have no place in what America should know, especially because everything that is left on track, with the fear of recessions still coming, high gas prices, the nation's on the wrong track. Biden has pitted neighbors against each other, labeled half of Americans fascist, and tarnished the idea of promise of unity. But what are we going to do? Literally, when Biden wants to pit us against each other in every aspect and refuse to accept the will of the people and embrace political violence, they don't truly believe in some. Yeah, that's why I heard it, Joe or Alex, on the Joe Rogan show. It's ridiculous. And we see what's happening. All these gains we've seen happen in the stock market in the last month or two. We lost Friday. Of course, we're seeing more losses today. It's just ridiculous. Oil prices are going up, and now Saudi Arabia is selling oil cheaper to Asia than they will to us. Nobody's talking about that. Of course, the U.S. government has given so much weaponry to Ukraine that defense officials are finally admitting that stockpilers are getting uncomfortably low. Why is this even a situation? We know we're on the brink of war with Russia or China at any time. And the U.S. is just giving away weaponry to Ukraine, that to the point where the defense officials are saying the stockpile is uncomfortably low. This is awful. We're in a position not even to control or to help ourselves at this point. Among the biggest ammunitions are the M77 howitzers and the 155 millimeter ammunitions weapons. I mean, you're talking, that's big tank rounds and artillery rounds used on any ground-based war that we would face if we were to join Europe in a war against Russia. The U.S. provided Ukraine with so much weaponry to fend off Russia's unprovoked invasion, according to the Pentagon, that stockpiles for some munitions are beyond uncomfortably low. Levels of the M155 or 155 ammunitions fired from U.S.-made howitzers are especially concerning. This is a ridiculous point where critical stockpile level or critical levels have been met and exceeded. U.S. isn't engaged in any major conflict at the moment. I mean, it's not like American military used the howitzers just last week in an attack on Iran backed groups in Syria. Oh, we did. Oh, we did. Oh, hold on. How come nobody else knew about this? We're running low on ammunition we are actively using to fight Iraqi backed groups in Syria. When asked, of course, today whether the depleted stockpile of the 155 millimeter ammunitions were a direct result of Ukraine, a senior defense official said, the short answer is no. That's all he said, no. We're able to provide, we have provided and still maintain our readiness for military force. But at the same time, we're below critical levels. We've already sent over 806,000 of the 155 artillery rounds to Ukraine. Just last week, I mean, we sent another 245,000 of those rounds. And the $3 billion military aid package we sent. The largest single collection directly towards the security assistance. Those weapons, however, will be provided in a different manner than previous packages and will not be drawn from existing Pentagon stockpiles. For some reason, there's a long list of military suppliers or military supplies that we're just using up because we don't have any more. It is just ridiculous watching this. And Russia's not stupid. Russia's holding joint drills right now with war games with China and North Korea. Today, Russia announced it's launching sweeping military drills in the country east involving China as a show of increased close defensive ties between Moscow and Beijing. Immense tensions, of course, over the West and over the Kremlin's actions in Ukraine. Defense Minister of Russia said that the 2022 exercises will be held September 1st through the 7th in various locations in Russia, from the Far East to the Sea of Japan, which will involve more than 50,000 troops and 5,000 weaponized units, including 60 warships and 140 aircraft. Sounds like they're going in Taiwan sometime between the 1st and the 7th. It sounds like Taiwan is going to get hit. But no, don't worry about that. Biden says everything is great. The drills will be conducted firing several ranges from the Far East, of course, of Russia. Troops from several ex-Soviet nations, including China, India, Laos, Mongolia, Nicaragua, and Syria, and North Korea. Who could have thought about that? All of those nations, or ex-Soviet nations, will be involved, working as one unit. This is important. This is a part of a planned combat training, of course, is what Moscow is still trying to iterate, of course, but Ukraine, the buildup on the border of Ukraine was nothing more than training exercises, remember? And then when troops actually engaged, Kremlin called it a special military operation there. I mean, this is happening. This is happening. Nobody's talking about why U.S. warships in the Strait of Taiwan And China's response to the warships, the United States, of course, Speaker Pelosi had to go to Taiwan in early August. Chinese military is some of the biggest military exercises around the island. And we're talking biggest with maybe 12 ships or 20 planes involved. We're talking over 60 planes or 60 ships and 160 planes involved in this coming week. This will be the biggest joint exercise between the Soviet Republic nations, or the whatever you want to call them, ex-Soviet nations, and China ever. It'll be far stretching, far showing what's happening. And Russia is still confounding us and the U.S. and the West by recapturing its oil riches. Russia's pumps is pumping almost as much oil into the global market as it did before the invasion of Ukraine, with, of course, the benefit of higher oil prices by making deals with Saudi Arabia. Moscow is making more money than ever. Demands for some of the world's largest economies have given Vladimir Putin and Putin's the upper hand in the energy battle. Because the U.S. stopped drilling and stopped producing a lot of oil. The shadow war in Ukraine has confounded the West's bid to cripple Russia's economy with sanctions. It has done nothing but cripple itself. With the European alliance, Russia used to supply 40% of its gas, not supplying any now, throttling flows even to the Nord Stream pipeline to Germany and other conduits, driving prices higher and putting pressure on European households and businesses. And here in America, oil revenues make up more than the difference. Russia is now swimming in cash and gold. I mean, this is ridiculous. Moscow is earning almost $97 billion from oil and gas sales this year, so far, through July this year. And last year, they only made about $74 billion. They've already made more this year in half the year than they made the entire year last year. Biden administration doesn't care. They've been whipped by Putin. There's no coming back. This just shows you how unintelligent our military and our country is right now. Biden is not standing up for our country. Our government doesn't know what's happening. Or maybe they just don't care at this point. Who knows? A lot of people aren't paying attention to what's actually happening. But people need to open their eyes because this is happening whether we like it or not. It's just sad watching what's happening. The student loan forgiveness is going to make inflation worse, easily, because they're printing $500 billion to pay for it. More money the American people just can't handle going out and paying for. It is just ridiculous watching what's happening. Home prices may be climbing still, but housing recession's on the horizon now too. As people can no longer afford mortgages because they're going to increase rates again this month or next month coming up. They've already talked about it. Almost 1% raise. Shell saying European gas crisis could continue for multiple winters. Shell, of course, owns most of the big transport ships that can transport liquid natural gas. And they're saying it's a multiple winter crisis now. Food prices are going to keep going up. If Russia decides not to get back in the fold of natural gas, which I doubt they will with trading with the West, because they have plenty of people that'll buy it that they don't have to deal with us anymore, or even Europe. It shows. It's showing what's happening in America. Yeah, debt collection agencies are swamped. Believe it or not, repo men are swamped right now with repoing vehicles, kicking out people from their homes. Interest rates went through the roof, inflation's through the roof, so people buy more on credit and can't afford it. That's what happens when you have a twisted economy like we do now. Biden's administration decides to print money instead of actually figure out how to save some money. Can't just keep printing. Makes the dollar worthless. Yeah, we got IRS collection agents now. Going door to door. It's the tax man coming for you. Next thing you know, we'll have taxmen coming to our townships. You have to go see the taxman. If you can't pay, you're going to have to get put on the whipping post. Can't pay your taxes, they just take everything from you. Just wait. Not long from now, that'll be the way, because we decided we needed 80,000 more armed agents with the IRS. Who made that decision? Wasn't me. Not helping me at all. I don't know who it is helping. We're going from drought-stricken areas to flood-stricken areas now. Flood risk, of course, going up because the ground can't absorb moisture. No, it wasn't Baghdad. I was talking about in Syria, Iranian-led groups were attacking in Syria, and we had to retaliate against them, and we used the same howitzer cannons and ammunition that we were almost out of because we're sending it to Ukraine at alarming rates. But evictions are going to be going crazy pretty soon here. More people being out of homes. 1 in 5 Americans are expected to be out of their homes within the end of the year, homeless. 1 in 5 families that have homes right now are expected to be homeless by the end of the year at this point. And those are low estimates. Just watching what's happening is crazy. We've had a very, very slow hurricane or no hurricane season so far, which has been great. I'm not going to complain about that. That has been awesome. But the problem is, having no hurricane season so far is we haven't seen the normal impact of a single refinery going offline. We have no gas coming in that's processed right now. We're not buying gas from Russia, which is processed gasoline, or China, which is processed gasoline. So at this point now, if we have a single storm hit us and it causes any refinery to go offline, it's a massive, massive backlog of processing of fuel, which will make fuel prices go up drastically, and they will stay up because we will not be able to recover. As cooler temperatures move in, less, of course, refining will happen because your efficiency goes down because you have to heat it to a certain temperature, and you can only get it that hot by using so much energy. Of course, watching the tropics right now, there's some areas of serious development potential. Right now, we have an area that looks like it's going to be heading towards Florida that has an 80% chance of development coming this week. 50% within the next 2 days and 80% within the next 5 days. And it looks like it's going to be heading right towards Florida. And then after Florida, of course, Louisiana, Mississippi area, where all the refineries are. With an 80% chance of development, this could be a serious, serious issue up and coming. It's just people need to pay attention. Oregon, of course, having deadly wildfires they can't put out because they're lacking water. Yeah, the northwest, where it's supposed to rain every day, it's not happening. It's just sad. It is sad seeing what's happening. It is sad seeing what's happening right there. Hopefully, we can pull it together. But it looks like we're going to be hit by a storm within the next week or two, causing more problems than we're dealing with now. So, God bless you guys. Yes, yes, they're only releasing till the end of August. So we have 2 more days, and we have no more fuel being released from the strategic reserve. And then they start trying to buy oil, the same gasoline you're buying right now, Minnie. We're going to be competing for the same gas. So gas prices aren't just going to go up a little bit, they're going to go a lot up very quickly. When you have the country competing with the people to buy the same fuel. But God bless you guys. God bless America. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for the support. The thumbs up, reactions are really great. And sharing the page. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys Wednesday night. Knock on wood. Hopefully nothing happens. And of course, Thursday we will be having a special show watching Biden's live address of the nation. And then we'll be doing some commentary and, of course, taking phone calls about that afterwards. So please stay tuned and thank you guys. God bless you all. Have a wonderful night and God bless America.